Do it live.
That's right.
I hate puppies.
Ooh, my back.
Good podcast.
I feel threatened.
Now you're good.
I'm back now. What's going on, everybody?
Love that stuff.
Welcome to Inside the Pallet House, the only Inside the Pallet House. I had a rough time with that, didn't I?
Well, you're in pain.
I am. Well, not anymore. I just
Not
put some
anymore,
biofreeze on there. The only podcast dedicated to solving first world problems and hopefully helping you figure out what beer you should be drinking this weekend. Brought to you by the guys over at Screen Door Mortgage. If you need a mortgage.
Oh, yeah. Look at this. I got my own
That's
mortgage
right.
cup. I love this cup.
It's a great cup. If you need a mortgage or a gigantic Yeti cup, it's real easy. You just call Jimmy at Screen Door Mortgage, and he'll take care of what is I think I've said it in the past. You know, it's a pretty stressful thing to go through getting a mortgage, and he takes the stress out of it.
If you're average like me, like I know nothing about any of that stuff, so I need someone to do all the heavy lifting.
Just guide me through.
Yep.
Be cool about it. Answer my questions. Make sure my wife is happy too.
Exactly.
And when it's all said and done,
good luck with that one.
I know. I know. And then when it's all said and done, just send me a giant Yeti cup with your logo on it.
And then we're in.
That's it. Easy money.
No,
So,
but Jimmy's a great guy, and if his company's a reflection of him, which I know it is, that means you will be well taken care of.
It absolutely is. And you aren't wrong. So, yeah, it's real easy. Just reach out to Screen Door Mortgage. They will take care of you.
If I ever need a mortgage again, which I haven't needed in 16 years, I will go to him.
Oh, you would be foolish not to. Do me a favor, though, when you get there. Let him know.
Tell him inside the pallet house to me.
That's all I ask. Even though he'll be like, "Hey, Troy, how are you doing?"
Yeah.
Oh, you know me? I was just listening to my favorite podcast.
They talk about you all the time.
They speak very highly of you.
So I had to come check you out.
Wanted to see what all the hubbub was about.
Yeah.
I don't even need a mortgage. Just getting one.
I just want one.
I am desperately trying to get him to help me out with a loan on some land. I got to put the boat somewhere.
That's right. Yeah, you do. Oh, I'm back. Hello.
I guess everyone assumed that, right? And you've been back for like 24 hours at this point?
Pretty much, yeah. We got back. We're recording on a Monday night, and I got back. We drove. Our longest drive of the whole trip was the last day. We drove from Pittsburgh past our home here in Richmond and went right to Virginia Beach because we had to go ocean to ocean. So
it had to be done.
And my dog was down there too, so I didn't want to get up Sunday.
Had to be done.
And drive down and do a turn and burn.
No, once you pull in that driveway.
We got up 7 early Sunday morning, got back by 9, beat all the traffic, so it was nice. But shout out to the past couple episodes, but especially Ely and Duke last week. That was a good episode, and it's hard for me to give that up because obviously they're better. All the episodes are better when I'm here, and that's not my opinion. That's everyone's opinion. They all reach out. All the listeners reach out and tell us that.
Objection! Hearsay!
I feel like...
Maybe not all.
Okay.
Most all.
I will tell you this, and I'm not blowing smoke. You get more positive feedback than I do. You do. People are always telling me how great... I don't know how many people I've met, and this has come up over the years where I meet somebody... And they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're on Inside the Pallet House." And then I'm feeling all proud.
Yeah.
And they're like, "I love the show." And they always talk about it. And then inevitably they get to the point where they go, "I love Troy. He has the best voice for this. He's just great." And I'm like,
you're the unsung hero. You do the heavy lifting. I get to lay back in the cut and throw my jabs in when I can. But anyway, let's not talk about me all day. Because we're getting ready to get to that.
To talk about you all day?
Yeah. No, but I do. No, the last episode was hilarious. Like when I was driving home Sunday, and I was like, man, it's like, because I thought y'all were going to call me again while I was on the road, and I never got the call. So Sunday, I was like, I hadn't talked to you, and I was like, I wonder if they ever got around to doing a podcast.
We did, but it ended up popping off as like a last minute. I realized that I was gone.
Yeah.
Because I'm in a similar boat as you, except I drift back in for 48 hours at a clip and then I'm gone.
Yeah, your work's been taking. Well, my work before my vacation had me moving about a lot.
Yeah. And so it was literally one of these where I was like, we could do it this day right before I leave if we could pull it off. And then Ely was like, I could do that. And then I hit up the Duke and he was like, yeah, you know what?
I did see that text. I was on that group text and Ely was like, I'm in.
Yeah, and then it was a couple days later.
But then no one else said anything on that text.
No one
and
said
I
a
never
thing.
heard, and I never got a call. And I was like, I wonder if Brendan got like busy and like, or had to, because sometimes for work you have to bounce like last minute.
And I was in that mode.
Yeah.
So when I was breathing earlier that day, and I was like, Ely said he could do it today, right? And like just send it out. And then we didn't end up recording until late.
Oh, wow.
Like it was late. I didn't think you would really want the call, and then they were rolling, and I was like, fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, those two guys with you, that's solid. Y'all need me to call in.
Nah, if it had been Stu sitting here.
Let me text Troy. Let's see where he is in the world.
I think I just ate another bug.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What is happening in here? It's these
Maybe the
jag-off
doors.
mints.
You throw one of those in your mouth, it'll kill that bug.
I will. I'll have to have them in, jag-off. Nice. All right, so you got back. Sorry.
I got back, yeah. Ended up, I think we counted 14 states, 3,952 miles total.
Woo.
Ocean to ocean. Started feet in the water in Pacific and San Diego and drove all the way to Virginia Beach and put my feet in the water there.
All right, so I'm gonna interview you this time.
All right.
This is usually your world.
I called in. We
Yeah.
called in 2 weeks ago. Y'all talked to me. I was in Kansas City, Kansas.
That's right.
I was halfway through the trip, basically.
Okay, we'll start with Kansas City then.
Yes.
You ate a lot of food on this trip.
Yes.
And you were going out of your way to try to eat like local
Yes.
things, right?
Yes. Yep.
Is Q39 still in the top 3?
Oh, by far.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not burying anything.
Especially barbecue.
Oh, I believe it. I mean, they're the good stuff.
That was awesome.
What are the next two, though? What's the top 3 things you ate on that trip? If you can even
I mean,
quantify
Q39 was the best, like, far and away. We didn't go to, like, a lot of fancy restaurants. We did go to that big Texan Roadhouse steakhouse in Amarillo. That was really good.
You don't have to go. Actually, the last thing you want to do is go to all the big fancy. Like when you're in Chicago, you don't need to go to Chicago Cut and have $100
Yeah,
steak.
we did a lot of diners and small town stuff like that. But we did try to do, like, so when we were in Chicago, we did the deep dish, which the kids really like that. And I didn't mind that. That was pretty good. But I tell you, I can't give you top 3, but I can give you number 1 with a bullet. And you're going to, I think you probably already know. Went to Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And we had to do.
You got the Permanente Brothers?
Permanente Brothers. The original one.
Yeah, now that's better than. If you go to the ballpark, it's not as good.
Well, and there's also one in a place called Market Square. I think the original one's in the Strip District, which is where we went. Waited in line, got the food. The most underwhelming sandwich I've ever had in my life. Like, all 4 of us thought that. That wasn't my hot take. That was all of us. Like,
have you heard my take on Permanente Brothers?
Well, you hate it, right?
I just think it's not. I don't understand what the hype is. There's another little deli in that Market Square that's tucked back in an alley, and that's my favorite.
Yeah,
my absolute favorite. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, but I talked to other people. Now, the people that sent us there were Pittsburgh locals. Now, they were older. It's my friend's parents, and they sent us there.
You know what makes the Permanente Brothers cool? It's literally because they always end up showing it at like when they go to like Monday Night Football in Pittsburgh.
Well, John
Madden's fat ass was always like, yeah, it's like the turducken of sandwiches.
Somebody told me they must have a crazy good marketer and marketing budget because it's like now connected with Pittsburgh when everyone most everyone else I've known that lived in Pittsburgh says Permanente Brothers sucks. And I would strongly agree.
The fries on the sandwiches aren't even special.
No.
They're actually soggy.
Yes.
Like what is that about?
And it overtakes the taste of any of the meat that's on the sandwich.
And now you go in Pittsburgh and they put fries on salads.
Yeah.
All kinds of like people are doing all this crazy stuff because they think it's a Yins thing.
Yeah.
It's not what Yins eat.
It was not good. But
Did you get an Italian beef at all when you were in Chicago?
When we were in Chicago, I got the first place we went. I got an Italian beef.
You know which place you went to?
It was that hot. It was the Clark Street. Dog
I've never
place.
had their Italian beef, so I don't know.
I know you told me to go to Al's, and I ended up seeing Al's in our travels.
Yeah,
but I'd already had it, and it was delicious at the place. Of course, I don't like onions and peppers, so I get it without that. Which
did you see a big Vienna beef sign?
I did
there.
Yeah,
so they're using Vienna beef. Okay,
yeah.
Okay, I know the one.
Yeah,
because it's all going to taste relatively.
But that was delicious.
Yeah,
and even the Giordano's pizza we had, isn't the best from what you've told me and other people told me.
Depends on,
but it still wasn't bad.
It's all you're splitting hairs.
Yeah,
it's like you got Luminati's people, you got Gino's East people.
Yeah,
totally different. You got Pasquad's people, and then you got the Giordano's people.
Yeah,
and like, you can't. Who's right? I don't know.
But I will say that our favorite places were the small towns we stayed in and the small motels and just the cool little places you didn't even know about. And the big cities we went to, like Chicago, was by far and away the best city I've ever been to. Like, and I don't like the Cubs, so
I knew you were going to come in here and shit on me. So to hear that is phenomenal. You didn't crap on my city.
So we stayed. Chicago has 77 districts, like neighborhoods. For those that don't know, probably most of you people are more well-traveled and you know all this shit, but bear with me here. It was
no, they don't. They don't know that. People think Chicago is this big skyscraper city. What it is a section with skyscrapers and then a ton of communities that spill off of it, and each one has their own vibe and their own pride.
Yeah.
The only thing they agree on is sports.
Yeah, we stayed in Lakeview East, which was just north of the downtown, what do they call that mile? The Magnificent Mile. And it was just it was 1 mile, just under 1 mile south of Wrigleyville, which is is the neighborhood around Wrigley.
Perfect.
So we could walk. We walked to the game the first night we were there.
Like a 20-minute walk?
Yeah, it was like more like a half hour, but it was not, even in the heat, it was nice. Like it was, there's cool shops. Dude, the city was clean where we were. There was plant life everywhere. During our tours, we learned that like the city was designed that every neighborhood is 10 minutes from a green space. There are parks everywhere. There's little parks everywhere. Like, it was weird because you saw like Targets and stuff downtown, like in these like
tall Targets,
or not even tall ones, but like just like not like I'm used to a Target being a standalone mega store. Like they'd be tucked in a neighborhood on a corner somewhere, Like
they usually go like 2 or 3 stories though, and that's kind of how they get a Target in.
Yeah,
it's kind of.
But I mean, beautiful beaches. Like, who knew there was beautiful beaches on the lake in Chicago? I feel like no one knows that.
So my first bit of my life, people were always like, oh, you can't go to the beach. I'm like, I go to the beach every weekend.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
There's sand here. I'm swimming. There's little waves.
There's water that you can't see the other side of. Like, that might as well be an ocean.
I thought it was the ocean. It never occurred to me. And then the first time I went to Ocean City, Maryland with my grandma, and I was like, what? This is the most violent place in the world. These waves are 3 feet tall.
Yeah,
this is insane.
It's like trying to drag me out and swallow me into the depths.
Yeah.
Like,
the lake is so nice.
Yeah.
It's like you get water in your mouth. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
The waves are nice.
My eyes aren't burning.
I just thought that's what the beach was. Beach is something totally different, apparently.
Yeah, totally. And we did the architecture tour there, which was amazing.
Can't recommend that enough.
And the lady was great on there, and we saw, so many cool buildings down there. And, I was talking about how much we were enjoying ourselves and how we were surprised we'd never been. And she was like, yeah, but we pay for it in the winters.
That's right.
For it in the winters. And she was telling me, like, there was a stretch of like 60 or 90 days last year where it was just gray.
Yep.
And she's like, I have seasonal affection, SAD, whatever, what's it called? Seasonal disorder, where like you get sad because you don't see the sun and I'm like, all right, I'm back out again. Like, I can't do that. Like,
those people that have enough money where they have a place in Chicago for the summer and then go down to Florida or something.
Yeah.
Or out to Arizona is where a ton of them go.
Yeah. Because all the baseball teams go that way too.
Yeah. So oftentimes they'll just travel there And then spring training ends, and then you slowly pack up because it's still cold.
Yeah.
And then you come on out and you have a great summer. I've actually told my wife that many a time. I'm like, I just want to get an apartment in Chicago, not far from the lake.
Yeah.
So I can go to Cubs games, like just take the L to the Cubs, hang out on the lake.
Another great thing, right? Like, obviously Richmond isn't on the same level as a New York, a Chicago, a Pittsburgh, but the L and the other forms of public transportation there were easy, cheap, and nice. Like, it was
absolutely
like New York, and I just went to New York a month before this vacation for a day trip. Like, New York doesn't hold a candle to Chicago, in my opinion. Like,
I agree with you, but it's
now
different.
I don't know. Like,
it's different.
I didn't go to the bad parts of Chicago. It's easy to be me and say, "Oh, I stayed in this nice part for a few days, and I was there for the nice weather, and I went to a ball." Like, I understand my 2.5 days of vacation there was, prime Chicago time. But like, we were in just a month before, we were in New York. Everything's filthy. Everybody's rude. Yeah. Like, it was just not. And we went all over New York too. Like, in the city of Manhattan.
You fell into the intentional trap, though. That's the intentional trap. From the very beginning, Chicago has been woefully corrupt.
Yes.
Like, that's where Capone came up. That's where these things happen. There's a reason for that.
Well, did you know that it's called the Windy City because of all the politicians?
They're
being
full of shit.
Yeah.
They're just running their mouth.
Yeah. I always assumed, and I'd heard this recently before my trip, but up until this year, I had thought that it was the Windy City because it was windy from the lake.
No, so we learned something very early, and that's you can be corrupt, you can have everything going wrong, but you make sure that it looks good.
Yeah.
For the longest time, Chicago has always spent a ton of money on snow removal, trash removal.
Yeah.
Like, this is what they do. They have throngs of people who do that. They make it look good. The architecture, all that stuff, it's intentional. This place looks great.
Yeah.
So you don't notice the dead bodies. You don't notice all the other stuff. And so you come in to visit and you go, this may be the greatest city on earth.
Yeah.
And there's this seedy underbelly. It's like Gotham, quite legitimately. I think they designed Gotham on Chicago.
Yeah.
Like,
just less dark. Like,
well, there's the areas that truly are, though. So it's like, that's what Chicago does. They've always kind of pushed things that don't look right, like, oh, there's all this crime, like, contain it here. Don't let it spill out. We're going to keep all this clean. And then people go, it's got to be the greatest city on earth.
I mean, to go back to the story last week, if you got a turd floating around in the pool, you want to get it to one corner of the pool and keep it there.
Keep it over there. That's right.
We can still swim in the far end over here.
We're fine over here.
Yeah.
Parts per million, it's working itself out. Yeah,
there's enough chemicals in here. We're good.
That's always been it. And then it does help, though, that the people are that Midwestern nice people.
And I thoroughly enjoyed all the small towns we went through and all the quote-unquote flyover states where, like, people were genuinely nice.
They are. They say the South, like Southern hospitality, that's nice. No. South is full of crap. We're nice to your face.
I wouldn't say it's total bullshit, but I wouldn't say we're any nicer than a lot of the Midwest people.
I think in the Midwest, you're more likely to have somebody pull over and help you change a tire, kind of stuff.
Maybe.
Stuff like that. You're still going to get that all over. People are genuinely.
But I'm sure there's small towns in northern New York that are nice. And
when you get outside of the city,
exactly, yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
It's just that the people who are in the cities of Chicago came from the Midwest more than likely.
Yeah,
no one goes from L.A. to Chicago.
Yeah,
you just don't. You go from L.A. to New York, you become a dick there.
Yeah, you would either, I guess, if you grow up in the Midwest, you either go balls deep L.A., New York, or you go
to Chicago or Nashville.
Yeah, you go.
They go down to Nashville.
Yeah, you go like 1 foot. It's like slowly jumping into the pool. Like, I'll go to Nashville first, or I'll go to Chicago first.
Yeah.
And if I can do that, then I might try.
Yeah, so you get a little nicer people.
Yeah.
Don't aspire to be number one.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine with number two.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah, it was a great city. I'm sure most of the listeners know that, but I would advise,
Did you eat a good bit in Chicago?
I mean, we
obviously
ate,
the pizzas, you had the Italian pizza. It sounds like you got around. I think the food there is awesome. It's all overly filling.
Yeah.
That's why people there are not attractive. But
you know
they're
what was funny? The women there, I kept thinking about the Chicago Sixes, right? The story of the Chicago Six.
Yeah.
But like, I'd be walking around my family and my peripheral would catch women and I'd see skin just out of the corners of my eyes. I'd be like, oh, and I would look and it would be women that should not be dressed in the stuff they were wearing. Like, they were a confident bunch of women.
Of course they are.
I mean,
Chicago.
And I think, too, being the weather, like, I think we had gotten there from talking to people.
Yeah.
Like, we'd gotten there, like, when it first warmed up, and, like, people had been, like, you know, ready.
Cooped up.
Yeah, just ready to get outside. Like, I mean, outside was just swarms of people. People were, I mean, when we were there, it was beautiful. It was warm, but it wasn't hot like it had been out west. So you could tell, like, people were like, finally, July 20th, summer's here.
Summer's here for 3 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
So did the Chicago 7 hold true?
Yeah, I didn't see many dimes for sure.
Then they're not.
Yeah.
They are the anomaly there.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's great to go hang out in a place like that and really kind of reset,
Yeah.
recalibrate. Yeah. And then you can go to other places and you're like, whoa! Because, yeah, those Chicago 7s, they're 5s everywhere else.
But yeah, that was cool. And we did we saw Wrigley. We saw the Cubs play.
You saw, so you went to San Diego Padres.
Went to the Padres.
You went to St. Louis.
Went to Kansas City.
Kansas
saw a
City.
game in Kansas City. We stopped at St. Louis. They were away. They were in Chicago.
Okay, you saw Pittsburgh.
We saw the stadium. We went to Chicago. We saw the Cardinals play the last game of the series against the Cubs. The day after that, we did the full Wrigley tour. They do a game day tour and a full day, an off day tour. The off day tour is far better. You get to go in more, see more. So we opted to wait, and it was a really cool tour for like $30 a person. We went up into the bleachers, which they don't like to be called bleacher creatures. They like to be called bleacher bums.
Bleacher
think it
bums.
was.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the guy who led that one told us basically every stop we stopped at, he told another story of how Chicago cheated back in the day. Like, it was all just cheating.
No, that's the Black Sox.
Yeah. He was talking about how before Wrigley was built, the baseball field they played on, people would hold the rope around the outfield before the ivy wall was put in.
Yep.
And, you know, when the Chicago team was up, when the Cubs were up, you might scooch in a little.
Of course.
You wanted to see the game. And then when the other team was up, your
Relax
arms might go up a little,
yeah,
and you might back up a couple steps. And it was just talked about how we went in the visitors' locker room, which isn't much bigger than the Pout House, and it had been expanded.
You know, that's the new one.
Yes, it had been expanded. I said, yeah, I heard they used to play dirty. And he goes, oh, yeah, the old manager used to, there was no hot water in the showers.
Yeah, that's the one.
Like, so they did that. And I said, why? I asked him, I said, why is the third base side the home side? Well, the sun's in the first base side, and we don't want to be in the sun the whole time.
No.
I'm like, oh, okay, more cheating. I get it. Like,
Wears you down.
Yeah.
No one has time for that.
We got to go in the dugout. Oh, so we got to go out to the outfield. We couldn't touch the ivy because the oils on your hand are bad for the ivy. It's the same ivy they put in like 37.
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
We got to go up in the press box. Amazing views from the press box. Got to see the Oregon where they still play the music.
That's cool.
We got to go down in the Cubs dugout, the third base dugout.
They let you anywhere near the old scoreboard?
No, we could not get up near that.
That's pretty cool to see happening during the game, isn't it?
And then we got to go in the visitor. Yeah. And to me, the coolest part was visitors was like my team, the Cardinals, were there the day before. And also that's the green room for every act that's ever played there. That's the green room.
Oh, like, that's kind of cool.
So like your Pearl Jam guys were in that room.
You know what I love about that? A green room. That's probably a really good size for a green room.
Yeah.
But that also shows you how truly bad it is for a whole team to be in. You're talking about 5 dudes and a couple groupies.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
But I mean, the Wrigley had some. It wasn't the best. To me, it wasn't my favorite.
What was the worst park you saw?
The worst park. So we went in 4. We went in San Diego. We went in Kansas City. We went in Wrigley, and we went in PNC, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
If you Google park rankings, those 4 are in the top 10 in almost every ranking.
Every time. Yeah. I agree.
Pittsburgh and San Diego battle for 1 and 2.
So which one was your worst for game day experience?
It's hard to say. It's hard to say because each one was so different. Like, to me, Wrigley was cool for the history, but, like, there's nothing to do at the park. Like, inside the park, there's nothing. It's just food vendors. Like, there's no...
It's old school.
Yeah, and it's tight. But, like, walking in was cool, right? Like, that's cool. Seeing the
way they did the neighborhood just around it, where they created that triangle with all the green space.
Yeah.
So that's all new.
Yep.
The first couple times I went to Wrigley, I never saw that.
Yeah.
I've only seen that. Well, I've done 2 games, but it was the same weekend. And I saw that and I was like, whoa, that is such an upgrade. It was literally shitty bars directly across the street.
Wow.
And that's all it was. It was like it was plopped in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Well, that's how all of them were built 120 years ago, because you just had to build on the land that you had.
They took out so much, though.
Oh, also didn't know that the Bears used to play there.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. But, like, Wrigley had the history, right? Kansas City, driving up to it, it's a hellscape. It's the football stadium and the baseball stadium right next to each other, surrounded by parking, which was awesome because it made getting in and out easy and parking easy.
Sure.
And the stadium itself, Kansas City Stadium, is beautiful. It has those fountains in the outside, like,
but
awesome.
Not a lot of character because of that.
Well, inside was cool. There was a lot of cool stuff to do, kids areas and cool stuff to do. But the outside didn't look so cool, right? Where Wrigley, it looks cool. PNC, San Diego's park was my entire family's favorite. Like,
that's the one.
They had a dope Hall of Fame. They had cool architecture. They had done like the Camden Yards thing where they built it around some buildings that were still there.
I like that.
The view of the city was cool and the sunset and all that, and the stadium itself was nice and designed well. The other one, PNC in Pittsburgh, everyone says that's number one. Like, that view looking out over the Allegheny is impressive.
Yeah, that's what I took from it.
And the stadium itself is nice enough, but it didn't have nearly the stuff going on that in the park itself that San Diego had. Like, we spent 3 innings walking around looking at the park and all the cool shit that was in it. So, like, do you want to watch a game the whole time? There's a park for you. You know, do you want to watch... Yeah. Do you want to do other stuff? Do you like? We paid $55 to park at San Diego, and then it took us over an hour to get out of the parking deck. So to me, I'm like, I'll never come back here ever again. Like, this is brutal.
You said San Diego. Just now.
San Diego.
I thought you said it was easy to get in and out of there.
No, Kansas City.
Oh, Kansas City was the ace
because
spot.
It was right off the interstate. With kind of like if you've ever been to Philly, their stadiums are right next to each other, and it's just parking lots all the way around.
Which is actually pretty sweet. Everyone goes out the direction they need to go.
Exactly. But, they each had their own, thing. So it was cool to knock 4 off and see 2 more. We saw Cleveland's while we were in Cleveland. We went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That was dope.
Is it cool?
That was really cool, dude.
Okay.
That was super cool. I would recommend that.
I need to check that out.
Yeah.
What else are you going to do in Cleveland?
Exactly. And actually, that area of Cleveland's beautiful. It's right on the water. Their football stadium's right on the water, right next to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like, you can walk to the ballpark. It's all walkable right there.
I think that's why I liked PNC so much, was like the act of walking across the bridge.
So that was cool.
I just enjoyed that.
We stayed downtown in a hotel, and we walked across. We would have walked across. There's 3 sister bridges, right? The yellow ones. One's Roberto Clemente, one's Andy Warhol, and one's another one. We would have walked across the Clemente Bridge, which is the one closest, but that whole bridge was closed down for traffic and pedestrian traffic. They're renovating it.
Okay.
So we walked down the Warhol Bridge and walked over 2 blocks. It wasn't a big deal, but that act, again, is cool as shit. Like, sun's going down, you're strolling across the bridge, the whole crowd's going with you. Yeah, boats are going under you.
I enjoyed it there. I thought that moved up into my top 5.
Yeah.
When I went there, I was like, oh my! And I think it was because I was by myself.
Yeah.
So you things are a little different when you're by yourself. You're taking it in a little differently. But it reminded me of Camden with water.
Yeah.
And I felt safer around Pittsburgh than I did in certain parts around Camden.
Baltimore shady.
I was like, it has all the things I love about Camden, but I have a better view and I felt safer. So I was like, I think I bumped PNC up. But then Wrigley, it's hard for me to separate the Cubs from Wrigley because I'm such a fan. So,
dude, we were in Pittsburgh. It was hot as hell. We were wandering around, jumping on the train. They have a great public transit system too. And we were like, we saw these kids in our hotel that were wearing these shirts with Rubik's Cubes on them, like team shirts. And we're like, and they were all in the elevator doing their cubes. Like, hey, what's going on, guys? Oh, there's the national championships in town at the convention center. So we were like sweating our balls off wandering around Pittsburgh. We're like, well, let's walk by the convention center and go check out the cubers. There's a great documentary on Netflix about it, and I've always been interested because I've tried to learn to do a Rubik's Cube. I can't do it. My oldest son can do it in a couple minutes. He's pretty good, but these nerds are straight crushing the speed cubing game, dude.
I saw a world record was just
it was like 3.5 seconds or something stupid.
Yeah, it was under 4 seconds.
Yeah,
and he just broke it.
Yeah, oh yeah,
and like it was basically
and there's also like when you and I, our age, we hear Rubik's Cube, we think of the Rubik's Cube, 3 squares by 3 squares, right? 9 squares on the face of it. There's a million other variations of them. Like there's all types of shapes. There's 4x4s, 5x5s, 6x6s. Like,
forget that. There's only one Rubik's Cube. It's a cube.
Yeah. But there's pyramid shaped ones. There's like
I've seen them, but I'm like that ain't. That's
and they have
not
competitions for all of them.
It's nine squares on each side, 3x3.
And then like the boys were watching and a couple of people were like, "You guys do this stuff?" And my son's like, "No, we don't do this."
Yeah,
and then we're like
chicks.
We're like walking out, and they're like, "Would you be proud of me if we were cubers?" I was like, "Look, guys, I would be the dad that had the Rubik's Cube dad shirt on, like the guy I saw. Like, I would support you in
I'd
anything
be proud of it.
did.
I'd be super proud if my kid was good at a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, but it's also something like, I'm glad they didn't choose that route because, like, what are you going to do with that? Like,
I don't know, but that kid who did it in 3.5 seconds, like, he's got to be living his best life in that universe.
Yeah, in that universe, for sure.
People are like, you're the greatest. I mean, in this day and age,
if he knew how to speak to someone of the opposite sex, he'd be aces, right?
Oh, I assume he can finger it. I mean, he can find the. It's not going to be hard for him to find a G spot or understand how to find the clit. I mean, this kid's probably a wizard. He'd be like,
I don't know. Too many movements, too many fast paced movements in 3.5 seconds.
I don't know, man. What if he could be like, go. Oh, nailed it. Like, I wish I had that skill.
Yeah, but those guys and girls only, like, the ones that weren't competing were sitting at a table with their own timers, just doing them nonstop. Everywhere I saw them at breakfast or at the in the elevator, they're just doing Rubik's. Like, their eyes are down. They're not interacting with anybody. And they're just like, it's like an addiction to Rubik's cubing.
So
like,
there is no
wild.
badass leather jacket wearing dude who came
not
strolling
in the documentary. Like,
but not what you saw at the convention center either.
There was no Fonzie of the Rubik's Cube.
I guess that's what I'm looking for. You know, I'm looking for Fonzie.
He didn't walk in and
hey,
bang this out of the...
Yeah, the Rubik's Cube just goes into all clean.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Now, there might be a version of that, but he's not going to be cool in our definition of the word cool, right?
He's got to be cool.
In his world. In his world.
He's got to be sitting there with his Twitch channel.
Oh, yeah.
Like, watch me do my Rubik's Cube.
Oh, he's got more followers than we could even count.
I mean, I guarantee you can make money doing it. You probably are
maybe. I mean,
it has to be.
But, like,
endorsements.
Talk about
by
percentages.
Rubik's Cube.
Like,
there's not a lot of endorsements, like, Gold Bond, Band-Aids.
Isotoners. I keep my Rubik's Cube's hands.
Exactly.
I have the full dexterity to practice in the cold temperatures with my isotoners on.
Jergens lotion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For multitude of things.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You're certainly never getting the old KY.
No. If I ever used a condom, I would use Trojan.
If I ever used a condom. Oh, man. Yeah, they'd be Durex guys anyway. Just got a feeling. Just aren't they the ones who always have all the colors and weird shit? I think that's what they do. Losers.
Or like a lambskin something.
Dude, lambskin's fantastic.
I'll take your word for it.
Don't let anybody lie. It smells bad coming out of the package. It does. It smells like a stable.
Don't they all?
No, lambskin's a different level. You're literally dealing with the intestine like a lamb. And like it comes out and it smells like the intestine of an animal. Yeah. Like it comes out and the whole room just reeks of like a stable.
Why do you have 18 candles going before I came in here?
I'm about to open up some magic over
That's
here.
right.
But it's legit. It feels good. Also, doesn't protect you from STDs.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
not at all. None of them? No, just pregnancy, right? Isn't it just pregnancy?
Sperm's too big to get through, but those little creatures, those little germs, they come right on through lambskin. So you're basically committing to the only STD I don't want as a kid.
Is a child, which is
it's a pretty serious
the most important
STD.
one.
Yeah, it's a big one.
That we don't take it seriously. Like, I bet if you polled, now you say that, I bet if you polled most people and be like, do you want gonorrhea with a side of syphilis or the girl getting pregnant? Most people would be like, I really don't want gonorrhea and syphilis. Like, they would rather take a chance on the girl getting, like, I can take care of the abortion. You know, like, I can deal with that.
I don't know, man. I think I'd rather have a curable. See, and that's the catch, right? There's curable STDs and there's incurable STDs.
Well, I guess there's like a pyramid level, right?
Yeah.
Like some are okay, some are socially acceptable.
There's a time in my life where I clearly would have opted for a gonorrhea, syphilis, a chlamydia before a kid. It's a pretty potent STD.
That one sticks around.
It's a big one. Be like, girl, you look like you might have caught something. Your guts all bloating out. Like, what is going on
Got a
here?
parasite in you.
Yeah, that parasite is growing. You're going to have to get that out and call someone else.
Yeah. Because I'm out.
Yeah. Catch me on Maury.
Yeah.
And you are. Oh. They never know if it was your gonorrhea. Turns out it was 99% certain it was your gonorrhea.
Is it ever yours?
I don't know.
Where does it start? It has to start somewhere, right?
Somebody owned it.
So, dude, do you think your STD strain is like, you could trace back to 200 years and like, my syphilis was George Washington syphilis.
That would be the hot shit. The reality
Humble
is,
brag.
girl, you cannot be mad.
Yeah.
You cannot be mad. I
haven't
George
told
Washington.
you the good news yet. This isn't your standard STD.
No. The founding father. Hey, baby, bad news. That's Genghis Khan's.
Yeah.
But that shit is violent.
Yeah. Good luck clearing that up.
Yeah, you are in for it. That's been around forever.
Yeah. What if I told you this STD came from someone who signed the Declaration of Independence?
Nah. Bob.
You sound, then you rattle off some names no one's heard of. It sounded like a car dealership. What do I have to do to get you into this STD from 1776 today?
You know, it's kind of always how that negotiation. It always sounds like a car dealership. You know what I mean? Be like, seriously, what do I have to do?
Yeah.
You want some dessert?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
I definitely want to go watch Steel Magnolias with your family, for sure. And then after that, we'll maybe grab a drink somewhere. I don't know.
Maybe pass around a little gonorrhea from
not just
Louis VIII.
That's right.
This actually killed him. This is a big deal.
Yeah.
This is Al Capone's syphilis.
This syphilis made it through Prohibition.
Yeah, this is a strong strain. You're like, bad news. That's Bieber's
Oh yeah, you don't want
not
some.
modern strain. No.
Yeah, you don't want some TikTokers STD. Gross.
Oh God. Oh, sorry, babe. That's Jake Paul's.
Yeah,
My bad.
that one's not worth much at all. Everyone has it.
It's like trading cards.
Yeah, it's like the market is flooded with that rookie card. You do not want it.
Yeah, no one has this. This is the Elephant's Man.
That's right.
Elephant Man's gonorrhea. No one barely ever caught it. It's really hard for him to
It's
spread.
the Honus Wagner of STDs.
Like, this is hot shit, babe. Why are you so pissed off?
I don't get you.
I don't think this is going to work. I don't think this is going to work.
You know what? I'm gonna agree to disagree, and I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah. I'm not curing this. It's too special to me. I just like to control it. I take half a penicillin.
That's right. Yeah.
I don't want to knock it out.
I don't want to knock it out. I want to knock it down. Okay.
Yeah. I don't want it to burn when I pee, but I still want it there. I want it there. I don't want to go crazy.
It's my security blanket.
I don't need that syphilis brain. But, you know, there's a little something there.
I've had it since I lost my virginity. I would feel weird without it.
Yeah. I lost my virginity to Tom Cruise. This is good stuff.
That joke's kind of like what Costanza did, right? Like his whole angle of like, once you've had a good looking girlfriend, other girlfriends, other good looking women like you because you've dated an attractive woman.
Yeah, it's been vouched for.
Exactly. Yeah.
It is true.
Yeah, like you can't be mad at me. I dated Cindy Crawford before I met you. She gave me herpes.
But the best.
Yes.
It's Cindy Crawford. Oh, you think she was going to get out of that pretty woman stage in her life without catching
Yeah,
something?
come on.
She
That was a documentary.
Notice I don't have it on my lips because she never kissed.
That's right.
What a saint. What a saintly whore she was.
I definitely didn't get this from a truck stop lot lizard. This was Cindy Crawford. Hold on, we mixed up Cindy Crawford and Julia Roberts.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's right. Yeah, I definitely didn't get it from terrible Tammy on I-95 at the Love's truck stop.
Definitely didn't pick this up 2 years ago at a Flying J. All right. Don't even ask why we drive by there, and I never stop. I don't prefer that place any longer. Totally different story.
Why would I stop there? Yeah.
I'm a Loves guy. I always have been.
On a positive note, definitely used a lambskin condom, so I know she's not pregnant.
She won't be showing up with a kid if I had done something with her, which I didn't. Let's talk about something else. What are we talking about? Sorry,
Hey.
dear. Why are we talking about this?
Hey, it is 5 o'clock. Can I get one of those pills?
It's my water pill.
Just half. Just half. Oh, my gosh. I need a beer.
I don't think we had that written down. But yeah, anyway, I had a good trip.
Syphilis jokes? No.
Yeah, I had a good trip. I would recommend it. Best parts were Route 66 in the small towns. Let me know if you want to know any more. We'll talk off air.
I might have to bring up some 66. Because I'm
Talking about to the listeners, like if you want to know more.
But I'm
gladly
intrigued to
talk
know about the like some of those crappy roadside, things that they have out there. World's greatest ball of twine, auto henge.
We stopped at almost all of those we could see, and I loved every second of it.
I believe you would.
And I hope my kids did, but that's yet to be seen. They can tell their therapist in 20 years about it.
Because you got a lot of Griswold in you.
I don't know why. I've always been I always wished I grew up in the 50s or 60s. It just seemed that the Americana, mid-century modern, I don't blame you. It sounds cool to me.
I think it is. I mean, I don't blame you. I think it is. Oh, you're using that bottle opener. Did it spray at you?
Just a little.
That thing is designed so poorly. It's unbelievable.
What do we have here? I need to bring the box out so I can read any funny.
There ain't nothing on here because this is Heineken Silver. This is their version.
Is this for geriatrics?
This is their version of the ultralight beers.
Oh, this is what this is.
Yeah. Low cal, low carb, low alcohol.
Oh, you know what it sounds like? It is their version of an ice house. Heineken Silver is brewed with an ice-cold lagering process at 1 degree Celsius for an extra... Hold on, the handle was... Damn it.
Huh. That's not...
Extra something taste and crisp, subtle finish.
Okay. But all I'm looking for is that Heineken skunk, you know? That's what I want it to taste like. You know how like the Corona Premier still has just enough Corona in it?
Yeah, to me, like, Corona and Heineken both have a skunk
They have
flavor,
a specific vibe.
which I used to hate.
Now I like it. I think I always liked Heineken. Corona just grew on me because it's always situational.
Yes.
You know? So you do start to buy in.
You know, I love Corona because when I was in Cancun and I had a lime and I was sitting on a beach, yeah, you're going to love anything, right? Like,
That's exactly right. That's why Cindy Crawford's syphilis is far better than someone else's. This beer has a distinct, like, malt beverage vibe. Whew! Right?
and it's so crisp and clean. It doesn't have the Heineken skunk. Like,
it's almost there.
It's almost there.
There's something there.
But I don't think I would think Heineken if I just took a sip of this.
This isn't. It says right on it, premium malt lager. Does that mean it's not a beer?
Yep.
So this doesn't even... Now, Heineken adheres strictly to the beer purity laws of Germany. This does not.
It's funny you picked up on it, though.
They've tried to recreate Heineken with some other way of making it cheap, like easy. Something's wrong. I'm not trying to bury the lead too much, but something's wrong.
35 cal, 4.0 ABV.
95 cal.
95. Premium malt lager. Are all their beers malt? Are we having a Mandela effect where we think Heineken makes beer? They make beer.
They do make beer.
It's funny how they say malt lager because you can't say beer, so you say lager. But what the hell's a malt lager?
Let's find out.
That is weird, dude. But it's crazy that you picked up on that. Because I was going to agree with you before you even said it. I was like, it does have a malt. Like, what's a malt beverage taste like? Like, it's just kind of, it's like a beer, but it's alt.
It just has more malty. Yeah, I don't understand what the difference is. Now, here they do call it a lower calorie beer. Forbes is saying. I mean, it's... But it is weird that they specifically called out that. It's only been out for a couple months. I can't really tell. But it does say malt lager.
I can tell you what beer products don't put on their product. The 4-letter word malt. Like, that's being forced upon you. Like, that's not because they want to do that. That's because you have to do it when you're not making a beer. So
yeah, I don't know, but something's off. It has, you know how you ever had malt? Obviously, we've all had malt liquor. This tastes like a super light malt liquor.
Yeah,
I don't know,
which isn't a good flavor profile.
Not one,
in my opinion.
Not one I'm going for. Well, it's one I've gone for before. There's a period in my life where clearly I thought drinking 40s was the only way a man should drink.
Are all 40s malt liquor?
Not all of them.
Yeah, because you can get 40s of like...
And Miller High Life and stuff. And Miller High Life was always great because those were always sub-$1.
Yep, 99 cents.
I was like, yeah.
Two of those, and I'm good to go.
Yeah, I'll have 2 of those and a pack of Cools.
I'm good. My night will be started off in the right direction.
I'm not appropriating anything. I just happen to like Cools and 40s.
I happen to be poor. Like, because if you weren't poor, you'd buy a 12-pack and some Marlboros.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah. The appropriation is I'm in the poor.
I'm appropriating poor culture.
Yeah,
on account
because
of
I'm poor.
I'm poor.
I'm a college kid and I have no money.
Yeah, I drank a lot of 40s at that
Yes.
stage of my life.
Yep.
And bad cigarettes. Actually, my cigarette of choice when I was in the cheap, I liked a Winston.
Like, no flavor? Just like
Flat out Winston.
straight up Winston.
My grandma smoked Winstons, so I was able to scam a lot of Winstons in my life.
Yeah, 2 at a time.
Yeah, so it starts to become your jam. It's just kind of how that goes. Then when I
My
came
mom smoked Virginia Slim Ultralights.
which is a great way to keep your boys from smoking.
Exactly.
Like that's well done. My grandma,
But she didn't
smoked.
have any interest to do that. So I just bought my own Marlboro Light menthols and rocked out in my house.
There you go. What do you think of this
Malt beverage?
malt lager here? Are you going to
It's not good.
give it a big W here?
I can't even give it a big average.
So a 4.5 for you?
Yeah. Right there with you.
Okay.
I don't think we're going to get 4.5 together.
I think we got a shot at that.
I'm going 2 because to me this isn't even.
We will get to 4.5.
Oh, the over/under is 4.5, and we might have a push. The house gets the rake,
That's right.
the vig. To me, a 2.5 is an average beer, and this is less than average because that's not as good as an average beer. That's subpar. That's not even beer,
Okay, so
and
2.
it's presenting itself as a beer. It's got Heineken on it.
So what I find really interesting is I just looked up Heineken Light, and Heineken Light has like a calorie more, and its alcohol content is 3.3.
So
They managed to get this to bump up a little bit.
to 4, which
Yeah.
is a big bump.
So that obviously has to do with more malt,
Yep.
more sugar,
Yeah.
higher alcohol content, but still somehow found a way to make the calories go down despite adding more malt and sugar.
That must be the 1 degree brewing process.
Oh, maybe that keeps the yeast alive longer to eat more of the sugar. I don't know. Something's up.
Or it keeps it so cold it prevents it from.
I'd like it to have more of a Heineken skunk. I like that they at least gave me a green bottle,
Yeah.
but it needs more Heineken skunk. It seems like they faked the way to get there.
It looks like a standard Heineken in your hand.
Yeah. No, so it's okay. I mean, I have 12 of them, unfortunately, now.
You can't drink you can't drink 4 of those in a row. Like, you got to mix that in.
No, but throughout the evening, you can grab 1 or 2.
Yeah, you have a couple Miller Lights, you grab one of these. You have a couple Miller Lights, you grab one of these.
Yeah, because I don't find it objectionable. I
No,
don't
it doesn't,
find
it doesn't make you want to spit it out.
but it's a 2.5 for me. It's middle of the road, but I certainly can't give it something positive. So yes, it netted out at a cumulative 4.5,
Yeah.
but at a 2.25,
Yeah.
not good.
Not what you're looking for, Heineken.
No, that,
Totally the wrong one.
it worked.
It got there.
It worked. All right, yeah. So that's a 2.5.
Good times.
It's unfortunate. All right, 2.25, I guess I should say.
Y'all had a good one last week, right? All of y'all liked it? What was it again?
No,
the
it
grape
was the
drink.
grape drink. And that grape drink was hilarious. I was down at the Plumbers.
I did some research on it. Like, it was weird how, like, it didn't. It's like the only Death Row one, and then it's weird that to me it's weird that the brand is Happy Dad, and that, like, when you think Death Row, you don't think Happy Dad. Like, it just seems like a weird collab.
It's a very weird collab. Very weird.
And it is weird, like the whole
obvious.
It's
grape drink?
It's grape drink. Like, that seems. Who signed off on that? Like,
Suge. Well, it turns out Snoop.
yeah,
So, but on it, like, so I was at the Plumbers Lake House this weekend, and I still had some Happy Dads, so I had just thrown them in the cooler. And at one point, I'm sitting there talking to the plumber, and he fucking reeks of grape,
oh no,
just reeks. And I'm like, dude, what are you drinking? Scissor, or have you been in my cooler? And he's like, I don't know, I just grabbed a Miller Lite. because it's a white can.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. And
he didn't.
Dude, he was 3/4 of the way through it, and it had not even occurred to him that he was not drinking a Miller Lite. And he just stinks. Like I'm talking to, and he's just his breath stinks of grape drink.
Probably his body. Probably pressing it out through his pores.
I'm like, you been in my cooler? And he's like, yeah, I grabbed a Miller Lite. And I was like, yeah, that's not a Miller Lite you're drinking. He's like,
I mean, it's a white can, but it looks nothing like a Miller Lite, dude.
no, he wasn't paying attention. He just grabbed, in the dark.
You said he wasn't paying attention.
I think that much has been established.
Your taste buds don't stop and start paying attention. You don't eat a shit sandwich and get halfway through it and go,
Wait a minute.
wait.
Hold on. Something's up. No, I was like, dude, you're drinking
Before it hit your lips, the smell of that fake grape, which, by the way, I love fake grape. Like,
I was enjoying them.
the whole grape flavor tastes nothing like a grape of any variety.
No.
And I love it. Love it. So I would have been down in that thing. Like,
I gave it a good score.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough to push it over the top because it's kind of not everyone feels the same way about that beer. That's why
I could also see drinking more than one getting sick of it, like literally sicky sweet. Like,
oh, it's good.
but my point is that fake grape, like when he cracked that thing and started it moving towards his face,
yes,
his senses should have overtaken him and like, that's not a Miller Lite. If for no other reason, I picked up a kid's fucking Fanta, and why am I even going to waste time drinking this thing?
Yeah, it's a knee-high grape.
Yeah.
And he was just drinking it. I was like, dude, you stink like grape. You have a grape seltzer. And he's like, now that you say that, he's like, this Miller Lite has been so grapey. And I was like, yeah.
I should be surprised by that, but honestly, I'm not surprised by that.
No. There's no, don't be surprised by it. we had a good time down there though, for sure.
I'm sure you did. If he was on that level,
it was wild. We had 4 families there, all of which brought their kids.
Oh no,
5 families there, including the plumber's family.
Yeah.
So 5 families.
That house is that big? Holy cow!
No, we had like
bodies stacked like cordwood.
We had pulled trailers up, like kind of tucked them in the woods. So like. There were 2
like
families.
Campers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so people were sleeping in campers. One dude showed up on the last night there, and he literally had a little tiny camper coming off the back that he could tow with his sedan.
Oh, wow.
And it had a little air conditioning unit in. You could like plug it in.
That's awesome.
It was just enough room for a single bed.
Yeah.
And like, that's it. He had a little stereo, a little Bluetooth speaker, and an AC unit. And I was like, that's actually kind of badass.
That's all you need, dude.
Yeah. And he like... I don't know what he does for a living exactly, but he has
Did he build it himself?
Maybe, because he was out there cleaning it and working on it.
Yeah.
Like, that thing was exactly the size you could get away with in tow with
any car, yeah.
Anything. And he takes it for work because he has to go out into these country areas. And he was like, it's just easier for me just to be doing my job. And there's no hotels around.
Yeah.
He's like, I just finished my day. Climb into the back, sleep, wake up.
What about the shower, shave, all that stuff?
I don't know what he's doing for that, but
I'm sure he's figured it out.
He didn't look like he'd shit or showered in days. So. He was doing his own thing. He was having fun. But yeah, we definitely had a good time down there.
Sounds like it.
I managed to go there. I show up on Friday morning, and I realized when I left I never got out of my bathing suit.
The whole weekend?
Not once. Didn't shower, didn't nothing.
You slept in it?
I would swim in it, sleep in it, go about my business every day. Never I was a bum.
I've never slept in a bathing suit intentionally.
I don't know that I did it intentionally.
But you climbed into a bed with it.
It was dry.
Ish.
But I mean, the plumber went all out. He had like a band playing and stuff. Well, one dude with a guitar. But, like, it was awesome. Dude was taking requests and doing stuff. It was like we had a blast. But yeah, every night I would just climb into that bed because I got both my kids in the same room.
Yeah,
like I felt bad for the youngest one. We got there. I got this air mattress I take everywhere, but I know I'm getting near the end of its lifespan.
Yeah.
So I bought another one. It's still in the box. And sure enough, I blew it up for her. And then I was like, heard that?
Yeah.
They're like, it's somewhere around here. Found it, put tape on it, didn't work. I would wake up every hour on the hour and just reach over and fire it up.
Yeah.
Burn. What is that? And I'd watch my daughter go from the floor up to 2 feet up. Hour later, just before she hit the floor, I'd put her back up.
You didn't open the new one?
I didn't have it.
Oh.
It was here. I knew I was getting close to the end of its life, but oops.
You going to trash it?
It's already gone.
Yeah.
If you put a patch on it, you're just...
That's to get you through that night.
That's exactly it. You're just waiting for the next problem. And of course, the patch finally fell out.
Yeah.
For years, I've been dumping that thing out, and there's the patch, and I stick it back in.
Yeah.
And then right when I needed it, no
patch.
That patch is sitting somewhere.
It was so hot when we went out to California at the start of our trip. It was so hot out there, and it was an outdoor pool. Like, the competition was an outdoor pool, which we'd never done. It had always been like a collegiate style.
Yeah.
And we just went to Walmart and bought a pop-up tent for like $59 and sat with it for 3 days and then just left it. We're like...
There you go, $20 a day.
Yeah,
if I told you for $20 a day you could have this tent, you'd rent it.
Oh, yeah.
So there you go.
Well, I had that idea. I was like, I should have bought 10 of these suckers, and they were like $58 a piece. I was like, I could have sold them for $80 each at the door and made
$20
$30 a tent, made $300, covered my tent, plus a little cash in my pocket. And if somebody didn't buy them, I could have taken them back to Walmart.
Yeah, you've just been sitting there, just extra nacho cheese on everything because you're rich.
That's right.
What do I care? $1? Yeah. Do it twice.
Exactly.
And that would have worked out. Dude, I'm on a kick right now. Speaking of nacho cheese, it's adjacent. I've been eating damn chili dogs.
We had a lot of hot dogs on our trip, that's for sure.
I don't know what's going on with me. Like, when we were on that Scandals trip, we made chili dogs one night, and my buddy insisted that you have to get these hot dogs. It's the Kirkland all beef, the ones they use in Costco.
Uh-huh.
And then he's like, you come over here, you get these buns. These are the same ones they use. And I'm like, okay. So he's got this down.
Yeah.
And I had that chili dog.
And you got like the hot dog chili, the Hormel like hot dog chili.
I get stag chili as my go-to. I'm a stag guy. But yes, that night I had the Hormel on this trip.
Not chili like you eat like as a meal, but like chili
canned.
Chili that's made to go over a hot dog.
Yeah, it's canned chili.
Yeah.
For sure. But
And that's good for over fire on a, stovetop or something while you're camping out.
Yeah, it just does its job.
Yep.
Just heat it up. So I ate a chili dog there, followed by a second chili dog.
Of course.
And I was like, all right, that's amazing. Like, I really enjoyed that. So then I came home from that trip, and my wife was out of town for work. And I was like, you guys want to get some hot dogs? So like I started eating more chili dogs. Then I was
Did you like go buy the Kirkland brand and do it up?
I am on this kick. And then
dude, when I was single and poor, like hot dogs were in my rotation on a regular basis. Like,
I've avoided them for so long, but now as long as it's all beef, like I'm in.
Yeah.
So I've been eating. So it was the Scandals trip, had multiple hot dogs, came back, wife went out of town, immediately was like, we should do hot dogs. I ate chili dogs. They seem to think chili dogs are somehow scary. I forced my daughter this weekend. I was like, oh, I put chili all over it. Like, I guess you're going to have chili. She said, but I don't even like chili. I don't even want this. I was like, will you just try one bite? I'll make you another hot dog if you don't. She had one bite. Her eyes. It was like, now she's going to be chasing that dragon for the rest of her life. She was like, oh, this is amazing.
What was her hesitation?
It seems gross.
Hearing hot dogs, like the story of how they're made?
No, she just feels like it seems gross to put chili on it.
Oh, so she liked hot
chili.
dogs. It was the chili, yeah.
I was like, look, it's just glorified ketchup.
Yeah.
Like, don't overthink this. And she loved it. But then,
especially like hot dog chili, like
it's different.
I never liked chili until I was an adult. Like I was like big, thick beans and chunks of stuff. Like it's weird. Like I didn't like the texture, but like hot dog chili is just thin. Everything's thinned out. Like, yeah, glorified ketchup is a great way to explain it.
Yeah.
Like
I've probably had a dozen hot dogs in the last 2 weeks.
That's awesome.
Like, I don't know what the hell is going on with me.
They're delicious.
But I had forgotten how deliciously bad they are. Like
they're amazing.
They're great. I was at Costco the other day, I'm not kidding. I bought all the stuff for hot dogs, and on the way out,
Bought a
got
hot
a
dog.
Costco dog.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what? It's $1.50 and you get like a large drink. I mean, it's still the greatest deal ever in food.
Yeah, the kids were bitching that they were hungry, and I was hungry. And I was like, well, we can just eat here. And they're like, that's disgusting. And I was like, okay, you guys help mom go do this. I came out, I had a slice of pizza. I had one of those big old chicken bake loaves.
Yeah.
I had a big old hot dog and some other stuff. It was $7
Yeah.
for all of it.
Yep.
I love Costco.
It's so great.
I just got my first Costco card.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you weren't a
It's like-
Costco guy.
No.
Dude, Costco is better than Sam's Club and BJ's and all those other places.
Yeah, my mother-in-law finally, she hooked it up. She was like, you know what? Because they could only get one. They had the maximum number of people. So she like sacrificed like hers. So now it's just her husband's. She sacrificed hers to give me one. What a gift.
Yeah.
What a gift.
My credit card is a Costco card.
Dude, I'm in cheap polos and got little hot dog gut. It's feeling good.
Dude, you can get like high-end clothes there.
Oh, I'm buying all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
All my sun shirts now, polo.
Oh,
I'm not
yeah,
kidding.
yeah.
Everything's
Oh, yeah.
Costco.
Yep.
I'm pretty damn happy to have
It's
a Costco
awesome.
card.
Get your gas there for cheap.
Watch TV there.
Yeah.
Sit down and catch a game. Assuming
Yep.
that game is these same animals
Yeah, exactly.
over and over on rotation.
Hey, we weren't going to talk about this. Popped in my head. I ran to a neighborhood buddy of mine who knows you, and he was like, man, I saw Brendan at the gym the other day. What kind of testosterone is he on? His arms were huge.
Nice. I'll take it. It's hot dogs.
And he was like, we locked eyes, and I don't think he knew who I was because last
It's
time
the stash.
yeah, it
I
was
keep
him.
trying to see him.
Okay.
And like I said hi to him the other day. And he kept going. And I was like, ooh.
Yeah, it's him.
I didn't think he knew who I was then. I was like, damn, okay.
Yeah, he was like, last time I saw him, I think was at the Dads for Crabs party we had, and I didn't have the long hair and the full beard. I just had a mustache. So he was like, I didn't know if he recognized me or not.
No, I saw him in there the other day, and then I saw him in there the other day with his kid, and that was the
Do
time.
y'all both go to the same gym?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I guess.
Yeah.
But he works out up like different area.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I had seen him, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that's my guy.
I mean, he stands out.
Yeah.
6'5".
So I
redhead.
literally like went
Viking
out of my
looking.
way as he was walking by with his kid, and I was like, "Sup?" And he like kept going.
I wonder if he didn't. He must not have heard you.
Oh, he definitely didn't.
Yeah.
because he didn't even like turn his head.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Damn, all right, that sucks." Like I thought we were cool.
Yeah, that's funny. I'll tell him that.
So good. We are cool.
Yeah. But yeah, he was like, man, he's huge. I said, it's funny you say that. I said, I don't think he's taking any testosterone yet, but he's doing these peptides. He's like, oh, yeah, I've heard about the peptides, blah, blah, blah.
I'm not doing them now.
Yeah.
It fixed the glitch.
Oh, it did?
I mean, for the most part, yeah.
Now you're just over to BioFreeze.
Oh yeah,
But that's for acute pain. That's just like,
yeah. You saw me put a little BioFreeze and
Yep.
hit that. Well, my back is hurting for some reason.
it helped.
I mean, it's not bothering me.
Yeah.
No, BioFreeze is fantastic.
Love that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just if you have a shooting pain, pop it.
Yep.
That's why I keep it right
And
there.
it goes right to the point.
Yeah, I'm not messing around. I
Yeah.
don't have time for this nonsense.
Well, it's like, oh, yeah, you got to get in my bloodstream and you got to like work your way through my entire body. It's like BioFreeze is like, bam, right where you want it.
Yeah. No, I'm an athlete.
Yeah.
I need BioFreeze.
Yeah.
World class.
Like the soccer players that get sniped and then they got to get them run full.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm back.
I'm back.
I'm back.
My leg was broken in 3 spots, but now I can run full speed.
Now I'm back to good. Back to good.
Science.
Oh, man. I was playing Can Jam this weekend.
Oh.
Love Can Jam. And I was playing against a kid who had a broken thumb.
What?
I knew I couldn't lose.
Yeah.
He can't hit the can. He
No.
can't hit the frisbee. And so-
With his throwing hand?
no, it's with this other. But you,
Yeah, but you got to be able to smack it.
yeah, it takes. I was like, I grabbed the plumber's kid. I was like, hey, come on, be on my team. Be on my team. And I knew, I was like, these guys don't have a chance. There is no worse debilitating injury than a finger injury when trying to play Can Jam because
Yeah.
it hurts to slap that frisbee.
Yep.
I was like, this is going to be a cakewalk.
And it's a quick move with no hesitation. And when your hand's hurting,
There's lots
you're
of
going to have
hesitation.
that that millisecond of hesitation. Like, I don't want.
And that's all you need. That's all you need.
Did you get any can jams?
Like an instant win?
Yeah, the little in the slot.
You know, I just found this out. You know, in Can Jam, the instant win, I've always thought was the slot, but I was on the official rules.
Yeah, I don't think that's an instant win. It's just like a bunch of points, right?
No, so it's an instant win through the slot, but it turns out that if I throw it and it drops in the top unassisted, that's also an instant win.
Really?
Did not know that.
Me either. That you would think that would happen pretty regularly.
Well, now I'm going to try for it. Because I can, there's no chance I'm going to slide it through that hole.
You've never slid it in?
No.
I feel like the couple times I played, I might have done it once or twice.
But I think I've over the topped.
Yeah.
And not known it was an instant win. So now.
Well, it's hard for the partner to
hold off
from guaranteeing those points.
Yeah, you got to be like, back up.
Yeah.
I'm going for W's. Which I always thought was so annoying that there is an instant win. But then, like in a situation like that, where like that kid had the broken thumb, I was like, you know, you can still win this.
Yeah.
He's like, it's 20-3. I was like, all you got to do is put it in the can.
Yeah.
It gives you hope.
Yeah.
So I get why it's there. I just, the couple times I've seen it, it's happened like right at the beginning of a game. And I'm like, that was anticlimactic. But if you're down 20-3.
It's 3-2 and somebody just won. Like, okay, that was no fun.
That's no good. But I think Can Jam is quickly becoming my absolute favorite yard game.
We stayed at a place in Amarillo that had these cornhole boards, and they were the largest cornhole boards I'd ever seen. They were like comically oversized.
Oh, like intentionally Texas-sized cornhole
they
boards.
were. It was a full sheet of plywood was the cornhole board.
But then just the same size hole.
A big hole. So like my kids were playing on it, and it was awesome because like they couldn't miss. Like it was.
I'd like just a gigantic board with a normal sized hole.
That'd be funny.
You know what I mean?
Because you score more points too.
Yeah, everyone's going to get a point.
Yeah.
But like you still got to aim for the hole. Mm-hmm. That would be
because your normal cornhole board's like 3 foot by 2 or whatever, and this was like 8. It was 8 by 4 or whatever a full sheet of plywood was.
That's pretty hilarious.
They were nice too. Like they'd done them up. They'd done them up right. It was pretty cool. I'll show you a picture of them.
Yeah, I think I could play some Gigantor cornhole.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah. So man, it's crazy. You are back. So
I am back.
You buying that car? Did you start to fall in love with it?
The Santa Fe,
the Hyundai?
Nah, it's not that nice. But it did have some features that I will look for in my next vehicle. I told my wife, I was like, your next vehicle will have
adaptive cruise control.
Adaptive cruise control and lane assist. The first time I drove a car with it, I didn't like it. You go on a long road trip, it's nice to have.
Was that one a beeper or a vibrate?
It would pull you back in the lane.
Oh, it would like literally be like, nah, dummy.
Yep. So you could like take your hands off the wheel for a while.
That's
and it would straighten you out
as long as there were lines on the road.
Yep. And the only problem was if you took your hands off for too long, it would start to beep.
But you could do 5 seconds, like get a soda out of the back.
Yep. Or just rest your hands. Like just sit your hands down for a little bit. And
with adaptive cruise control, your feet are already off the pedals.
Dude,
you're living the dream.
That for those that don't know,
I think that's the best thing.
Those that don't know, that is awesome because you set your cruise control to whatever speed, and you're bebopping down the road, and then a car slows down in front of you, or more often than not, a car pulls over in front of you, and the adaptive cruise control just slows you right back down, and boom.
Yeah, because all it cares about is the distance between you and the next bumper.
Yep, and then when that car moves, bam, you're back to the races. You take back off to 70, 75, whatever you're set at. You're good to go.
That is one thing that like my older Infiniti has.
Nice.
It's very hard for me to like get rid of that.
Yeah.
Even though that car, I believe, is rotting from the ass out.
Yeah, that thing's been giving you trouble. You were about to get rid of it.
Yeah, and I'm starting to think that it's got like rust underneath.
Oh, that sucks.
Because the exhaust I've already replaced once, and now all of a sudden I'm hearing a leak again.
No.
So something's up. Not happy. Is this the gigantic cornhole board?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it, but I literally took 2,000 pictures, and it's not easy to find. but I do have to find it for you.
Now you're on a mission.
Yeah.
A mission from God.
We saw that. We saw
Blues Brothers.
We saw the prison from Blues Brothers. We saw once we didn't stop. We drove by it. They had one gas station had the Blues Brothers cop car like mounted up on a pole. That was really cool with two like dummies dressed like the Blues Brothers in it. That was pretty neat.
I like people dressing up like shit, like that bear.
Oh,
How
you
funny
saw
is
that, dude? That was amazing.
So there's this zoo in China, and I think we've all seen this where the bears are now starting to like stand up on their hind legs. Oh my gosh, you could put your kids are laying on it and they're half the size.
Both boys are laying on it.
That's hilarious. Those are huge.
Yeah.
At first I was like, no, that's a normal cornhole board. And then I was like, wait, there's humans on that.
Yeah, the older one's 5'4", 5'5".
Yeah, he's like about a little over half the length of that thing. That's crazy. Yeah, but so you've seen bears standing up. Right?
Yeah,
it's like black bears keep like doing this where they're standing up on their
like
hind
walking
legs,
around like,
and they look hilarious when they do it.
They look weird.
And there's all kinds of like footage of this happening. Well, apparently there's this bear there's this zoo in China that has a bear that will walk up and then he stands there and he waves.
Yes.
He waves at everybody. And so it's become quite the tourist attraction where everybody comes in from all over just to see this bear just stand there and wave. And somebody noticed the other day, they were like got a picture from behind and they're like, look at how it kind of like flaps in the back.
Yeah,
Kinda
he's
looks
got like
a suit.
Yeah, like he's got no ass, and it's like there's folds there where it's like doesn't look like skin. It looks like oversized pants.
Yeah, it doesn't look right.
Yeah,
and now the theory is that this zoo's actually just dressing someone else.
But China wouldn't do a thing like that.
I don't believe they would.
We love China.
No. They're literally committing genocide against the Uyghurs, and it's not cool.
They're some of our best listeners.
I shouldn't even have to say it's not cool, but it's like nobody seems to care.
I care.
Literally committing genocide against an entire population.
But they bump our numbers up.
Every time I say is, they do go up. And it's heartbreaking to know that they're on top of that shit.
Yeah. Maybe not focus on our little podcast, China.
Yeah.
Get back to the bigger problems, like your fake-ass bear.
Your fake-ass bear and the genocide going on.
And, well, yeah, once you figure the bear out, then go to the genocide. Hold on.
You can flip it if you want.
Okay, yeah, that'd probably be, you're probably better.
But I can tell you,
stopping the genocide first.
I can tell you which one's probably easier for them to address.
The guy in the bear suit?
I think that may be
it. I think that would be the easier.
And then they said that it's their whole argument that clearly it's not a dude in a bear suit is because look at the temperatures and it's so hot that someone in a suit would be. And I'm thinking they got Chinese technology. This thing's air conditioned well, or they're just putting Uyghurs in there.
I was going to say they also have Chinese I don't give a shitness and will force someone to do something that they don't want to do.
Saying.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, you have been condemned to.
You drew the short straw and you get in the bear suit today.
You're in the bear suit and you will ride that till you collapse from exhaustion.
Hey, maybe they're put together and they do what they did when I was working at Kings Dominion. Everybody in the animal suits, they work like a 20-minute shift and then the next 40 minutes they're in rehab just chilling in an air-conditioned room. Maybe they're cycling the bear guy out.
Do you think China has enough people?
That's what they do to the women, maybe? Because, they had the whole, no girls.
Gosh, yeah. They're like, you can keep that one, but
we need a bear.
Starting at 14.
She's tall.
Yeah.
Let's get her in the suit.
He had two tall parents. They're like 5'4".
Yeah, come on, China.
China.
Everybody there has a phone, right? Like, people do this stuff, and it's like, it's going to get busted, right?
But if there's ever been a place where, no one's going to speak up, it's China.
And
you don't want to die.
And North Korea, right?
North Korea is probably another pretty good. I bet.
How many fake bears they got in North Korea? China's got one.
You know North Korea's got a shit ton more.
A baker's dozen.
Absolutely.
At least.
Yeah. I agree. They're the best.
They are. Yeah. Kim Jong's just like, I see you're one bear.
Yeah. And I raise you.
I have 40 human bears.
And now I'm going to do a military parade of nothing but upright standing bears with nukes.
And then convince you they're legit bears, but they're nuclear bears.
Doing that North Korea walk. That would be awesome. Your bears walk funny.
The whole way.
Giant missiles behind you.
Your bear waves. Our bears march.
Look at the size of the honey on that trailer.
That's right. They're doing the interweaving march where they're like marching through each other, like not hitting each other.
That stuff does look sweet.
Dude, it's amazing.
When they do that stuff, it does look pretty sweet.
It looks fake.
Dude, what are the odds that you hearing all this UFO stuff? You miss any of that when you were on the road?
I've really missed a lot, but I have, like, I checked Reddit every now and then and a few other sites, and definitely saw, like, I heard about the whole, like,
I mean, it's official.
It came out that we have, like, biological material from
material. We've got at least 3 bodies.
Yeah.
That, like, are known. We got different crafts.
Yeah.
Now you're starting to hear people who are in the military like, no, I mean, clearly I've seen some crafts that don't work like ours.
Yeah, defy the laws of physics.
I saw one the other day, an interview, this Army general. He said that they had this craft and they were like locked in on it. And they were using all their like infrared technology. And they were like, the thing was exactly the same temperature all over. No exhaust of any kind for the propulsion.
Yeah.
They're like, no matter which angle we hit it from, we could not find a hot spot. And it could accelerate and move and dip.
Yeah.
They got tech that like we are so far from having.
Yeah. But that's been the case, right? Like, we've all known that. It's kind of weird that we all seem to care less now.
Isn't this, like, I'm shocked. Because we've been hiding it from
20 years ago, I was watching, any alien show, like...
That dude with the hair.
Yeah. And now it's like, okay, yeah, I get it. But, like, until you show me something, like...
Well, I think that's where we're going.
They're going to have to, right?
I think eventually they're going to have to open up. Say something.
Yeah.
Because the whistle done been blown.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody's talking about it. Like, it's happening.
And it's, like you said, it's legit, like, 35-year veterans, like, that have no, like...
And everyone else is corroborating the stories now. It's because, like, all of a sudden we're at this moment in time where we're just not killing those people.
Yeah.
We're just letting it be.
Or we can't... I think information gets out there so quickly now in so many ways.
Why are we not killing this? Like, we used to just do that.
Yeah, but dude, you cut the head off when you killed someone back in the day. Now they've sent it out to a million people. Like, you can't unring all those bells. Like,
or is it something more sinister? Like, we don't have as much as we think, as much as we're letting. Like, we're going to let people start talking to make them think that, like, wow, if this much is leaking, like other countries, if this much is leaking, what do they really have that's still under wraps? Like, this could actually be a calculated play.
Well, and there's also the tinfoil hat people that are like, they're putting this stuff out to dangle, to jangle the keys. So you're looking over here when there's all the other shady stuff going on over here. Like,
what changed? Why are all of a sudden we're like, talk about it then?
Yeah.
Fine. Go out there, testify to Congress, do all these things.
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about it. What's really, it's either a smokescreen to make the rest of the world think, holy shit, what do they really have?
Yeah.
Because obviously we got some intelligence that other people have, some way cooler UFO stuff.
Oh, we do? You think so? Or you think that's the angle?
That's my theory, right?
Yeah.
Like, all of a sudden, China or Russia or somebody.
Oh, like if we have A, B, and C, and we know China has A, B, C, D, E, and F, so we just put out that
let's
we
let
have
it be released that A, B, and C happened, and then, so what aren't we telling?
Yeah.
Like, just
or
so
what aren't they telling?
Just so they're like, oh, well, we can't use that ray gun because they probably have the other thing.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know what, but for some reason we're letting it be spoken about, or you could be right. It could be something way more sinister. Like, all right, we're doing some really fucked up shit. So let people start chirping about that. So what is far worse than aliens then? Like what?
Yeah. Or what? I mean, we know the fascination. We have a history of mankind or our country being enamored by it. Like, push the aliens out there. Let's really distract the people. And we can be over here doing...
Because Jurassic Park's fucking up bad.
Yeah.
I think this is getting out.
Yeah.
Something's up.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's just a weird time. I just find it very interesting that all of a sudden we're like not shutting them up.
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's sad that I automatically think there's ulterior motives.
But I do too, though. And I think we've always agreed there's been aliens. Always.
Yes.
Since the dawn of time, we're like, of course there's aliens. Space.
Well, there's there's multiple camps, right? There's camps that are like, there's no aliens because God created us and there's whatever. I've always thought we can't be the only life form. If we know there's these other planets and stuff, like even as a kid, I'd hear about like, well, there's no life on Mars because there's not water. And I'm thinking, we need water. Who says another life form needs water? Like,
we're rudimentary.
Yeah. Like, I never even understood that angle.
I don't understand any of those angles.
Yeah.
Some people just need to breathe sulfuric acid.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how they're built.
Yeah. By the way, you don't have to look deep, meaning into our own biology, where what the hell were we breathing when we're in our mother's wombs? We're not breathing air.
Well, we're getting oxygen.
Yeah, but we're still like breathing liquid like in the abyss. Like
we're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
So what could be, and that's here on Earth, and
it's like here in your mom.
It's it's like the ocean. They say if you take a cup and dip it in the ocean, that's about what we know about the ocean.
Yeah.
Like, we're all worried about what's going on in space, and we're like, let's just ignore the space that's below sea level that we know nothing about.
That's my favorite kooky UFO theory right now, is that they've been here all along. They're just in the ocean, and we don't know shit about the ocean.
Yeah.
So they just live in certain areas, and then they just come up out of the water with their ship and then
gone.
Do their thing.
Yeah.
I don't buy that theory, but I like it.
It's not a bad theory.
No. 80% of the world we know nothing about.
Yeah.
We're over here just laser focused on our 20%.
Yeah. I've seen Men in Black. I know they live amongst us.
They're everywhere. Everywhere. I feel like every couple months someone does hit me with one of those things. They hide it in my beer. The memory eraser. Every once in a while I stumble across.
You saw the story about the woman who lost her cool on the plane and was like getting off and like yelling, and she was like, that guy's back there and he's creeping me out and he's an alien and he's weird. Did you see that?
No.
So this happened a few weeks ago. So I saw a meme the other day that was like, it was a picture of her like losing her shit at the front of the plane, and they're like, I think we owe her an apology. Like,
yeah, it turns out there was aliens all along.
Yeah, she had a suspicion, and maybe she was right. Maybe she saw something weird at the back of the plane that made her uneasy.
I think we all see weird shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've seen a lot of weird shit. Up and down Route 66.
I have met some characters, man. Met some crazy people.
I know we got to shut it down. I do want to ask you, though, like, what was the coolest thing on Route 66? Like, those roadside attractions. Like, was there anything that jumped out at you like that was badass?
I just thought I just love meeting all the people in the small towns, and just, again, I have a nostalgia for a time I didn't grow up in, but I just think all those throwback world's tallest thermometer, all the muffler men, the oversized metal men that are holding weird things.
Those are awesome.
Those are cool. Like, all the neon signs are cool. Just like, I loved all of it. Like, I couldn't get enough of all of it. And I'd seen it all on different TV shows growing up, and I just thought it was cool.
Did you see the world's biggest tree root system?
I did. Yeah, I walked into a shit show over here in your backyard.
Yeah,
we didn't even have rain till the last day of our trip. Like, it rained one night on our trip while we were asleep. Like, we had great weather other than the heat. And then, like, we're getting storm alerts and shit on our phone the whole time when we're in like Arizona or in like Missouri.
Yeah.
Like y'all were catching shit for a while but over here.
I mean, I came back and I got a tree that's tall enough to fall in my yard, crush my fence, run the length of the neighbor's yard, and hit the other fence on the other side of her yard, plus the fence behind her yard. Like, took out everything except a house.
Thank God it didn't hit a house.
No cars, no houses, no
Yeah.
people. So, but I went and talked to the neighbor. She said when that bitch
I mean,
hit,
that root ball is 8-9 feet tall.
I'd say 9 feet tall.
Yeah.
Every bit of it. It was crazy. It's definitely a big
Yeah.
drop. She said it shook the house like an earthquake.
Were y'all not here?
No. And so someone was watching our dog, and they had been over earlier that day, and then we came back the next day. My dog never greets my ass. And he's always like, yo, good to see you. Kind of makes eye contact. He does like a nod. He's like a bro. And this dog would not leave my side from the moment I walked in.
Oh, wow.
Didn't care about the women. It was like, great to see you, ladies. Great to see you, ladies. I got to be with this guy. This whole place is coming down.
Yeah.
Like, he was shook.
He felt it. He felt a drop.
He was shook. And it was 24 hours later, and he was still
Yeah.
flat out shook and just did not leave my side. I was like, oh, okay.
Speaking of dogs, when we picked our dog up after 3 weeks, that motherfucker was thoroughly confused.
Really?
Because he had been living at my sister's house, which is a dope-ass house, and she'd been, like, feeding him fucking Chick-fil-A and making him,
living
like,
the dream.
making him whole chicken breasts, and, like, he was living the dream. And, like, after 3 weeks of that, he'd probably fallen in love with her and my niece and my brother-in-law, and then, like, we walked back in, and he was all excited, like, bouncing off the walls, and he's looking at my sister and looking at my wife, and he's like, I don't know what to do here. Like,
because he likes women.
he knows the moms of the houses. Like,
Yeah.
he knows where his bread's buttered. Like, I feed him more food than the rest of my family, but he knows, like, my wife walks him the most, feeds him the most, like,
Yeah.
is there for him the most.
Most effort.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your dog's had one of those weird lives where it like, it had been in the pound.
Yeah,
we don't know what
exactly.
had happened
Yeah,
before. So
exactly.
he's probably had like a few
He's got
families
some
in his life.
traumas, yeah.
So like when he got to a new family, he's like, all right. He hit
Yeah.
the reset button,
Yep.
started loving a new woman.
Yep.
You guys picked him up. He's like, fuck, now this is the only thing I'm not familiar with.
Yeah.
Someone came back.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Gotta be weird, right?
Asher's cool though.
Yeah, he was happy.
Hell yeah. Well, we're glad to have you back, man. I'm sure the
I'm glad to
listeners
be
are
back.
glad to have you back.
I'm glad to hear it went well. I know we always fret when one of us can't be here, especially you, because it never happens without you. But
I wish it would. I was like, my
you
wife,
tried to get it done.
My wife said today, she was like, well, we're gone for like so much. Why doesn't just Troy come over and grab Stu or somebody and just do it? And I was like, well, they don't know how to do it. And I was like, well, it's really actually pretty simple. You just hit the record button and then.
I don't think I could drive. I mean, I could obviously hit the record button and start it, but I don't think I would be as good on the one mic talking as much and leading as much as.
I think
I
you'd
don't
be
know.
fine.
I disagree, but that's
You
just
just
my
need a
take.
talented guy like Stu or someone backing you up.
Back to being a car salesman, and not a very good one.
You're going to love. You think you hate this car now. Wait till you drive it.
If I knew I had Ely and the Duke and even Ray, I'd be like, yeah, we can get it done. And that's not a knock on Stu, but like I wouldn't have wanted to agree to do it and then not be able to get anyone here and then been like, well shit, now what?
It is tough to get people here. I've learned this.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to have you back.
Except you and me.
Seems to be easy.
I mean, the only reason I wasn't here is because I was doing an epic trip that I never go on. So
I knew you were on a trip, and I still felt like your dog.
he's never coming back.
I was like, well, that motherfucker's gone.
Yeah.
It's over. It's over. Well, we're glad to have you back, man. I'm glad the trip
Glad
went
to be
well.
back.
I'm glad it worked out.
Looking forward to getting back into a routine again.
There you go. There you go. I get it. Well, the new routine you're going to have to get used to is plugging Screen Door Mortgage.
That's right. My new Yeti cup will get me to open a lot of doors for people.
That's right.
Screen doors.
Oh, I see what you did there. Nice. I like that. You know what's as easy as opening a door? Getting a mortgage with Screen Door Mortgage.
Exactly.
It's that easy. Other mortgage companies, it's like, backing up a trailer. It's very different.
You're going to get to learn about that.
I can't wait. You're going to teach me.
Yeah, I do know a trick.
Good. That's all I need. So, no, do head over to Screen Door Mortgage if you need a mortgage or a refi, or if you just have a lot of questions about something that you're thinking about doing. Jimmy will take care of you. It's very easy to find him, screendoormortgage.com. And then from there, you'll see the phone number, see the emails, see everything you need. Screendoormortgage.com.
Yep.
Yeah, I got that right. If you need a pair of sunglasses, head over to nectarsunglasses.com. That is a plural, nectarsunglasses.com, and drop Abacus in the coupon code, and they will go ahead and get you taken care of. If you have too much money after that sweet refinance, you can always send us some at Venmo at
Inside the Pallet House.
There it is.
On Venmo.
I've been fucking that up, so figured I'd let you do it. And you can always send us topics at InsideThePalletHouse@gmail.com, or find us in other places. Oh, I forgot to talk about a topic that came in. We'll get it next week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be talking to you next week. That's right. Cheers.
Cheers.
That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?
You did it last week and you did all right. That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?